Hi, y'all. I hope you're all doing well as we reach the end of the semester. I can't believe it's already so close to the end. All right, so I will be talking about COVID 19 and the brain, or long COVID and the brain. So, these neurological effects of COVID are extremely diverse, patient by patient. However, the most common insult we see would be immune mediated, which means we're exposed to the virus and it's the response, the body's response to the virus, which is really causing that insult, that injury. It's the inflammation, and as we'll see, the disruption of the blood-brain barrier. So these diseases include transverse myelitis and autoimmune encephalitis, and we know this is COVID affecting the brain because we see it in the cerebral spinal fluid, the CSF, and that's detected through culture. And getting into the pathophysiology, how it affects on a cellular level, is that the COVID virus binds to the ACE2 receptors on endothelial cells, so that outer lining. And then these endothelial cells express proteins in response to the virus, or adhesion molecules as they're called, that cause platelets to stick together, causing clots and leakage, further disrupting the blood-brain barrier. And then we see lack of oxygenation, ischemia, all these things that are associated with decreased blood flow to the brain. It's horrible, but that is what we see. And what I found so interesting is in these areas that are getting decreased blood flow because of this COVID interaction with the cells, 300 genes that are normally transcribed show decreased expression in these areas of the brain, which could be linked to the mental health issues such as depression and neurological symptoms like headaches and migraines that we see symptoms of long COVID. So this inflammation in the brain, there's very already little room in the brain, and any inflammation is disrupting the blood flow and the effect of the immune system. So another thing, there's so many things I found interesting, but another thing was the treatment for long COVID. It's immunosuppressants. So we're seeing side effects like increased risk of infection, obviously, if you're on immunosuppressants, nausea, vomiting, and tremors. And it goes to show the impact on the quality of life long COVID has on patients. So concerns about COVID and what I learned in patho. So in terms of COVID, I'm really concerned about the society's response to COVID. I'm worried about, the school closures and the educational and developmental delays that this is having, the impact this is having on children. I've had COVID 3 times, so personally, I'm not worried about the actual virus affecting me significantly. I'm worried more, just like long COVID is an effect of the immune system's response. I'm worried about society's response to COVID and how that may affect us in the future. What I learned in patho that I think will help me tremendously as I go into nursing school is that organ systems and their pathophysiologies are extremely interconnected. Just like this COVID, how it's a respiratory virus, it primarily affects the respiratory system, but it can have a huge impact on neurological functioning. So that's so interesting how we need to be aware of different manifestations of diseases and what that really means for our internal physiology. So thank you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your semester and good luck on your finals.